Блядство, ебучая ты сетка, на!
I hate this sound.
Бажаю здоров'я.
Це війна.
Лечу в'їбало. На, сука!
This is a large burrow in the ground. In the deadliest forest of Ukraine. The people you see are painting a free and independent Ukraine. The colors are black, gray, and a lot of red. But what does it take to paint it? Good night or good morning, everyone. So this is officially the start of my first frontline trip by myself, and today I'm embedding with the optic fiber drones unit of Signum Battalion. So right now the most sketchy part is ahead of me, the road, and I really hope everything goes well. A few miles down the road, dozens of sound checks later, and I'm already riding in my armor on the back seat. Besides silent soldiers. Next to me, a pile of wooden boxes with God knows what inside. On the dashboard, a futuristic device flashes in the dark. It's a drone video signal interceptor. If we see ourselves on this monitor, it's a bad sign. The road is long and bumpy, but it goes without accidents. Welcome to what soldiers call the Enchanted Forest. The saying goes, it's a magical forest. You enter on both legs and you leave without. The soil is soaked in blood, and the trees are shattered and hurt. In between, for soon 4 years, the war. For the next couple of days, this will be my home.
Все, успіхів, дякую.
А ружбайка наша?
Наша.
I hate this sound. A lot of stuff going on. The drones, incoming, outgoing artillery. Thankfully, we're here, covered by the trees, deep in the forest. Nevertheless, the situation is kind of action-packed here. The reason for me being by myself is pretty simple. The road is too dangerous and there's no room in the car, there's no room in the dugout So you have to bear with me and my filmmaking skills, but I will do my best to document what's going on here and how the guys fight and burn Russian vehicles and soldiers. Turns out the boxes that kept hitting my head were full of drones and ammo. I arrived with a long-awaited shipment. The Ukrainian Lego is assembled fast. And while breakfast is cooking, the first drone is already looking for its prey. Just a couple of kilometers ahead, there are more burrows and more men. Those are the infantry, the ones holding the edge. Our safety depends on them. And everything the unit does right here aims to keep them safe.
It's satisfying to hit targets that are approaching. It could be a truck transporting military personnel to war.
When you hit it, you can kill one or two, but 4 or 5 more will realize what war is all about.
Хотіли та побачили автомобіль. От їде. Вирішили, типу, зайти. Подивитися, де тут сіточки є. Можна було сюди, звісно, зайти, ну, типу, відволікався.
Це стріляти вже.
Да. Все, зайшли. Бажаю здоров'я.
Це можна дивитись вічно. This is Sergei, call sign Schweiger, after his favorite actor. He may sound quite modest, but he has a lot to be proud of. Firstly, there are hours of such videos on his hard drive. Secondly, he's credited with the first documented combat use of an FPV drone. The mission took place in Velika Kumyshovaha in June 2022 and is remembered here as the Force House with the blue door. That launch has probably changed the future of warfare. Much has changed since then. The group has grown into a battalion. Electronic warfare has grown to interfere with radio-controlled FPVs. That's why Schweiger and his team are now flying the next big thing. What I'm holding in my hands is the 13-inch FPV drone, but what makes it outstanding and probably the most dominant weapon on the battlefield at this very moment in Ukraine is this spool of optic fiber below, which basically leads to the pilot. And this spool this optic fiber gives the pilot a perfect image and makes the drone unjammable. It is completely independent from radio frequencies and any sort of electronic warfare.
Але цей вже вирити, ніхуя. О, тут вже вход готовий. Туди. Ну я у вхід залетів, зараз побачимо, що там буде. Може треба було на кришу?
This technology has completely changed the dynamic of the front line in Ukraine. At this very moment, at this day, there is no 100% cure from getting targeted with such thing. There are some methods like the
anti-drone nets that you probably seen a lot of times by now, but 100% cure it does not exist. That is why the going to the front line is not as fun anymore. It is actually really scary because getting targeted, getting seen by a drone like this means in 90% that you're gonna die or you're gonna get injured.
Well, we set fire to the forest near their positions, and their equipment burned down. Drones and ammunition. They were using fiber-optic ones. So to speak, our effectiveness has improved in some ways. In some ways, it has become what it used to be, when there weren't so many electronic warfare means and various anti-drone systems. For specific tasks, effectiveness has improved significantly.
Even outside of this dugout, there are thousands of man-hours being put into making sure Serhiy can launch a drone fast and fly it where it belongs. At Signum Battalion headquarters, there's a massive drone workshop where thousands of drones of all sizes and purposes are set up before they reach the pilots. The most impressive part of the workshop is the battalion's own fiber-optic spool manufacturing.
This is the room where we keep our machines, manufactured by us, with our winding system. Here we wind 5, 10, 15, 20 and 23 kilometer reels specifically for ourselves, for our drones, for our tasks and requirements.
About 80% of our hits are with fiber optics. There are fiber optic drones at all takeoff points. 2 or 3 takeoff points are still partially operating the radio drones.
Back in the Enchanted Forest, a new shipment arrives. A few words about where we are. Russia has repeatedly claimed complete control over the Luhansk region. Yet, this is where the video takes place. Just a tiny part of Luhansk Oblast remains under Ukrainian control, but the soldiers are still holding it with all their might. So the situation in the forest has been a little bit chaotic. Of course, the Russians are pushing just like everywhere, but here, because of how thick the trees and the bushes are, some of the groups had made success with passing through the front line and going deep into Ukrainian controlled positions. That is why the guys basically carry a gun with them everywhere they go, outside of the dugout. If you go to the toilet, you bring a gun with you, because anything can happen. Moreover, colleagues of Serhiy had recently been ambushed by Russians. Thankfully, they were prepared and they were able to capture one of them. Here is a video from a couple of weeks ago.
Сергей Старленко, спасибо за РусС, что вы нас ебашите.
Отлично.
А багато зараз взагалі от кейсів, що проходять ці непоміченими?
Да, є таке. А зеленка єбнута.
Да.
Там можуть стоять, а так чисто на контролі за цим деревом. Ну, вход контролить. Тобто нам треба вибивати її ззаді, щоб отримали всіх, хто ззаді.
This is basically the reason why Serhiy now is digging holes and putting mines in them, because this is a mechanism they came up with. They have a camera facing the entrance to the position, and around that entrance he's gonna put mines, and if the case is they find out that they see that the enemy is outside, they are being surrounded, they have a magic button to blow up everything on top of the dugout.
Що це за міна, коротше, розкажи?
АЗМ-72, протипіхотна міна, яка Ну, вона може ставитися на різні типи датчику цілі. Ну, коротше, у нас буде з кнопки з бліндажа. Тобто периметр зараз переставимо. Плюс такі місця, де можна укритися, заховатися. І будемо чекати. Може хтось попадеться.
Ну бажано, щоб...
Та ні, ну звісно. А ти що? Їбать. Ахуєнно.
Що ти на мене дивишся?
Я йду.
Особливе запрошення тобі, чи що? Типа, Богдан Анатолійович, будь ласочка, підібіть собаку.
Мені подобається. Що далі?
Розтягуй давай так от туди.
It's about time to tell you about the rest of the crew. Lamer is the navigator, 26 years old from Kyiv, and director is 52 years old and native of Donbass. These two together are quite a duo.
Я ж тому зараз і...
Ні, тому що ти їх не бачив, ти ж не дивився.
Ні, я до цього отак от і зробив.
Ти бачиш, ну от, блядь, пищат. Уять, я топорик, блядь.
Ну він
Стань,
значить,
мужчиною, блядь.
щоб...
Трошки мужчиною стань. Ну, у мене називається спотер.
My job title is spotter. I assemble drones that have already been tested in the workshop. I connect them, tie them up, take them out to the launch pad, launch them, and do all sorts of little things in the process, like changing the camera or something else. That's what a spotter does.
Ну, майстер, так називається спотер.
Це війна. Зараз, наразі я...
Currently, I accompany the pilot,
пілота,
advise him where to fly, and assist the spotter.
допомагаю спотеру. До цього я...
Previously, I worked with drones a bit, spraying fields. Now I enjoy what I do more.
Чим я займаюся. Ні, звісно. Я ніколи не п'ю, Васильович. Блядь, щоб я десь пиздів. Це неможливо.
Ще виходить такої з дивної сторони.
Just now the drone went above my head and I don't know, was it the friendly one or the enemy one, but it, I think apparently it hit some trees and then just fallen close to our position, but it didn't explode, so it's pretty sketchy. So you see what I'm saying when talking about that all these trees and bushes are helping us to hide, because literally there are hundreds of drones passing over our heads. Even now you can hear one, and you don't really know if it's going towards you or just above you. It's kind of very scary, I must say. But I trust this forest to hide us and hide us well. And that's the firefight that we're hearing. Maybe you can hear that, right? a good firefight there, and I think this is what we are being told about. We were told that a couple kilometers from us there's already a firefight going on, because Russians are pushing, and it's either the assault group or the recon group already fighting the Ukrainian infantry forces. So the firefight is dangerously close, I must assume. After hearing what's happening in front of us, the crew has to react. In the end, we are the next in line for the firefight. But not every launch is successful.
350 метрів. От мене підстрелили нахуй, сука. Я щас загорюсь. Ні, мене підстрелили. Я їбало валю. Я падаю.
A lot can go wrong. The Russians do their best to take down Sergei's drones. They set up firing ambushes, where soldiers simply shoot them down. Sometimes Russian troops even use scissors to cut the fiber-optic cable. Other times, the cable breaks for no reason at all. And even the most experienced pilot can make a mistake. For Sergei, this job is an emotional roller coaster. He believes that every drone that misses could mean a lost Ukrainian fighter.
Блядство, ебуча ты сетка, нахуй!
Ну, є розрив!
Та хуй зрив, блядь, тупо в сетці, якої даже не видно, нахуй було, запутався, сука. Це пізда, блядь.
Ви на повернення чи ще можете?
The last assault there involved 6 tanks, buggies, motorcycles, MTLBs, and BTRs, a total of 10 pieces of equipment. We stopped the BTRs with infantry and did what we could. None of their equipment reached our forward positions. No one dropped off infantry at those positions. A significant number were destroyed before they reached any gray zone. And at 5 p.m., you sit there and think, what a day it was. Like, you did a hell of a job, actually. Not just you, but the whole crew, the workshop, everyone who was involved in your work.
There are many parts of the equation when talking about successful work. This is a recon unit that plays a big role in it. They guide Sergei while he's on the hunt.
Крило! Вище!
As soon as I got here, this fire show started.
То не лелека, Христом було.
Сюди йшла, що я кричав.
Вона отут, а прямо перед нами отак от є.
So Leleka is sort of a Ukrainian main reconnaissance UAV. All of the units across all of defense forces use this UAV to search through the enemy territories, the zero line, to look for the targets, enemy positions, and stuff like that. And an interesting point is that around a year ago, mostly Lelekas were looking the targets for artillery and MLRS systems. But now this particular crew works mostly with the optic fiber drones, which proved to be very efficient.
Це боксер, да. Перемкни нагору. Нагору і глази. Ні, все, то мінус картинка. Той пішка.
Constant communication. We find a target, we track it if it's dynamic. We tell Schweiger takes off, he has his own flight time. We agree on 3 to 5 minutes there. And then we coordinate his location and his strikes, and we just film it and confirm.
So despite the fact that we are a little bit more removed from the front line, still the drone threat is very high here, like you saw, and there's a reason why the whole position is covered with nets. Moreover, almost every car and almost each position has such gun, basically to shoot down the drones from the air. And the guys say that it's a lifesaver solution. Leleka is in the air and Sergei's crew begins the hunt. This night is going with no issues, and the one suffering tonight is the enemy's artillery.
I really enjoy it when they tell you there's an active cannon that fired 40 minutes ago. You fly there, and in 15 minutes, you damage the barrel, and it stops firing. It needs to be replaced.
It is around sunrise, and the guys just received another task. It's going to be a third howitzer they need to target during this day. Вийшло? And successfully targeted. That's right, there was the third howitzer targeted during this night, and it's not just those howitzers that these guys hit during these couple of days. The work that they're doing is crucial. It's literally a sniper weapon that gives them the ability to target something almost every time. And because of how efficient they are, we barely had some sleep. Every time we go to bed, within half an hour or within an hour, there's another task for us to do, and it's kind of exhausting. Finally, we have some time to rest. I'm starting to get used to my new routine. The diet is stable. Enriched with a significant amount of caffeine. Because of sleep deprivation, the days blur together into one long one. But what I'm experiencing here is just a trial period. Normally the crew spends at least 2 weeks in the Enchanted Forest. After breakfast, there's some time for maintenance tasks. Because of how close we are to the zero line, and you can hear how close we are, I don't want to say the distance, but because of the restrictions of the optic fiber technology and the length of the spool itself, the guys just have to be very, very close to cover as much enemy territory as possible, to be as efficient as possible. But you can see and hear yourself. Plenty of stuff is going on here. Nevertheless, a big part of their job is to remain incognito as long as possible. And that is what the guys do a couple times a day. They just go to the taking off route of their drones and gather all the optic fiber, move it out the way because of how shiny it is, and especially in the sunlight it's very easy to notice it from above. That's why they have to take care of that.
Давай с колоса расстреляю.
Стрелок, блядь.
There's another drone right here. This one is not optic fiber drone, so we don't know who it belongs yet. I was told not to touch it.
Може вистрілити по ньому, блядь.
Та БК, я думаю, може нормально так ляпнуть.
Ні, треба ляпне добре, так. Це градіна тут видно в'їбало, торчить.
Ага, набої. Від набоїв, мосінських набоїв. Патронів. Ну, коротше.
Вилізав.
Да. Алюмінієва ложка зломана. Походу з трубки була зроблена.
I actually learned an interesting fact about this forest as well, that this location was a place of huge contest during World War II, and these are actually the shells Sergei was able to find with his metal detector. This is his little hobby that he has, and they are dated 1942. So it's an interesting thing that there are still artifacts left from World War II in this forest, but I guess that modern war will leave much more impact on it. As I was saying, I've been to these areas a couple of times before, but already during the full-scale war, filming stories for United 24, and it is really difficult to imagine how this place looked before, because it was a national reserve, and there was a limited access for civilians to these forests, so it was full of wildlife, and I guess it was very interesting. Now you can hear it yourself. There's elements of the modern warfare everywhere, wherever you go in this forest. The drones laying around, the drones flying around, the fiber optic on the trees, and lots and lots of shelling. This is how this forest looks at this very moment.
Everything is covered in this thread. Over everything, villages, fields, cities. This really bothers me, because nature will suffer from it. Imagine how long it will take if the fiber-optic war continues for another 2 years. How much will be covered? How much of this garbage will be in nature? And the worst thing is that all this garbage will not be on their territory, but on ours. There are already nets, and there are hundreds of thousands of birds that are caught in these nets. And they just die there. How many times have we pulled them out of those nets? It's kind of sad.
It's hard. Very hard. It brings a lot of grief to our people. The cities of Slovyansk and Kramatorsk, after 2014, When Donetsk was taken by Russia, they really flourished. But now, when you drive through those cities, they're all abandoned.
While Ukrainian nature, cities, and people are being destroyed, these are the ones risking their lives to prevent it. The job is hard, but it can't stop, so the prep work for the upcoming night begins. Along with it, the most gorgeous dinner we've had so far.
Що, як думаєш, мені сподобається?
Зайде, да, конечно.
Не догоріло. Нехай думає, що це прильотик.
Some of my friends actually ask me sometimes, like, man, aren't you tired of doing this job for the third year? And I'm like, dude, look at this. This is just straight up chilling with the boys, having barbecue. I love it. I just love it. The only thing I miss is maybe a proper shower, but I'm also gonna try to arrange it for myself later.
Літає піда. Я тобі кажу, тут літає просто піда. Маленький, FPV.
Hey guys, so the update is that this night I'm gonna leave this position, so this is my last day here, and before leaving I want to encourage you to do something. As I said before, the unit just recently they lost a beautiful Mitsubishi L200 that was used to deliver drones, supplies, ammunition, soldiers to this area. And now they have an ongoing fundraiser for the new car. So if you want Ukraine to win and this amazing work to keep going, I encourage you to help these guys out. I'm gonna attach their PayPal and their Ukrainian bank account. So please help them out. You've seen yourself that their work is literally crucial. With the onset of darkness, the Russians feel safe and come out to play. Sergei takes off, flies over the battle-scarred forest, and arrives at the Ukrainian village occupied by the Russians. Here, he knows every street. 2 hotspots glow in the darkness, and he flies towards them. A few seconds. And just like that, a few more Russians will be going home early, in plastic bags.
Лечу в'їбало.
Или салон, или бак.
Диви, жмур там, походу. А тут не сітки?
Ні, нема тут сіток ніяких.
One last push remains for me.
But I stay calm. What happens next is out of my control. The road feels smoother this time and passes quickly.
Що як?
Та шикарно.
Поїздка.
Вообще бомба. As the driver says, driving home always feels faster.
Маєш?
Да, давай.
Ай, сука, скільки строїли цей бліндаж, блядь.
Давай!
Все.
На. Вождя забрать.
Давай.